Year 1, it's time for phonics. Yesterday we learnt about the I sound and the alternative spelling, so now we know 2 ways of spelling I. Today we're going to learn a 3rd way of spelling the I sound. And some of you may already know it. We sometimes call it the hop over I. Here it is. It's actually the same as yesterday's I, but it's been split up. So it's called a split digraph. A split digraph still says the same sound as the digraph that is not split. However, there is usually another letter in between where this little dash is. We also don't say the last sound in the same way that we don't say the last sound here. We simply say I. Do you remember our little rhyme? When 2 vowels go walking, the first does the talking. These are both vowels. Can you remember them? Hold up your hand and show me. Say with me. A, E, I, O, U. Do you remember drawing your vowel hands and we wrote some alternative spellings around the fingers? Well, this is another one of those. So if you had your vowel hand with you now, we would be adding this one to it. Let me give you an example of a word with the split digraph I sound in it. I'm going to choose ripe. I have a juicy, ripe peach. Ripe. Ripe begins with Now I'm going to have my split digraph, I. So I do the first letter, but I need to leave a space for the next sound. So listen to the word ripe. What's the next sound? That's right, P is the next sound. So I'm going to put that in the middle, and then I'm going to carry on with the rest of my digraph. This is why we sometimes call it the hop over I, because it's almost like it's had to hop over another letter. I'm going to rub that out now. The split digraph I is in this word. I. There it is. Sometimes when you find a word in your reading book and you start to sound it out and you go, the peaches, p. That doesn't sound right at all, does it? So then you need to think to yourself, oh, could it be a split digraph? And if you look on beyond that letter, yes, it is, because it wouldn't say repair, would it? That wouldn't sound right, but it would sound right if your peach was ripe. So if repair doesn't sound right when you're reading in your reading book, try the other sound, I. I, p. And remember, we don't say the last E sound. I hope that makes sense. It can get a little confusing, can't it? But all I would say is when you're reading in your reading books, if at first it doesn't sound right, then maybe try one of these other spellings. I'm sorry that Bug Club was being a bit naughty yesterday, and some of you couldn't write on your worksheets, and some of you couldn't open the lesson activity in Bug Club itself so you could practice. Thank you to those of you who let us know, and hopefully we've ironed out those problems and it should all be working fine for you today. If it's not, do let us know and we'll sort it as soon as we can. We're really proud of all the wonderful work you're doing. Do give us feedback. Tell us if you're enjoying the activities. If there's some that you really, really don't like, let us know, and if others are feeling the same, then maybe we can change them. If you're finding anything particularly difficult, do let us know, because it might be that I can spend the next day in my video explaining in a little bit more detail to help you understand or to make things a bit easier. Yeah, you can re-watch yesterday's song with all the different I sounds whenever you want. It was a really catchy tune, wasn't it? I expect you were singing it all afternoon. Don't forget to check around your house to see if you can find some words with these sounds in. You might find them on cereal packets or tins or all sorts of things, even washing powder. If you do spot one, why don't you take a picture and show us? We'd love to see. Let's start today's activity on Bug Club.
Now it's time to log on to today's activity on Bug Club. I'm not going to talk you through it today because I'm going to challenge you instead to work your way through each of the tabs in the activity. Don't forget there is the asset bank on the left-hand side which looks like the little white folder. Open it up and there are some words that have the split digraph I in. I would still like to see you writing the split digraph I 5 times in your yellow book. Then, if you could write a sentence or some of the words from this activity to show that you have understood how to fit the split digraph I into words. Have fun and I'll see you tomorrow.